There's a lot to digest and a lot of voices to be heard. Stick to the frequency that amplifies these voices, stories and reports that make the difference. This is Agidigbo News, 88.7 FM.
This is Kunle Amzat Studio, Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Welcome to News Around the World.
Good evening and welcome to the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM Ibadan. I am Bowale Akinbode. First, the headlines. Makinde inaugurates Omololu Olunloyo Park in Ibadan. Oyo Suburb distributes motorcycles to boost monitoring of basic education in schools. China accuses US of bullying Venezuela as Trump orders blockade. Europe faces crunch decision on using frozen Russian assets for Ukraine. Super Eagles depart Cairo for Morocco. Now the details. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has officially inaugurated Dr. Omololu Olunloyo Park, located along Airport Road, Alakia, Ibadan, marking another milestone in the state government's efforts to enhance public infrastructure and honor notable personalities. Speaking at the event, Governor Makinde, represented by his deputy, Barrister Bayo Lawal, noted that the park is part of the state government's efforts to preserve Oyo State's rich cultural heritage and history. Governor Makinde added that the facilities provided at the park would enable both indigenes and visitors to better understand the unique cultural identity and peculiarities of the various zones of the state.
The park must be used for purpose for which it has been constructed. They can stroll down here and relax, enjoy the nature, and get the history of this state. And I need to remind you, the international airport is now declared open. Wọ́n ti ń pera, wọ́n ti ń sọ ní airport yìí. Tí gómìnà bá dé, we will go commission it, we come here because ní sàkání bí lẹ́yìn Èkó bẹ̀yẹn, this is coming as a hub of international flight.
Earlier in his address, the Commissioner for Public Works and Transport, Abdulmojid Mogbonjibola, commended Governor Seyi Makinde for the various developmental strides recorded by the state during his tenure, describing the park as an aesthetic and integral component of the newly rehabilitated Samuel Ladoke Akintola International Airport. In the separate goodwill messages, the President General of the Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, CCII, Chief Sulaimon Ajewale, Chief Lekon Alabi, and the son of Dr. Omololu Olunloyo, Mr. Olamide Olunloyo, appreciation to Governor Seyi Makinde for his compassion in immortalizing the late sage. The Oyo State Universal Basic Education Board, Oyo Superb, has distributed motorcycles to monitoring and evaluation officers to strengthening effective supervision of public basic schools across the state. The brief ceremony took place today at the Oyo Superb headquarters, Agodi, Ibadan, where monitoring and evaluation officers received the motorcycles on behalf of their local government Universal Basic Education authorities. Speaking at the event, the executive chairman of Oyo Superb, Dr. Nureni Aderemi Adeniro, said the gesture underscored the board's commitment to quality assurance and accountability in the basic education sector, noting that effective monitoring remained a critical pillar in achieving improved learning outcomes in Oyo State schools. Dr. Adeniro also explained that the motorcycles would enable monitoring and evaluation officers to carry out their duties with greater ease, reduce delay in school inspections, and enhance data-driven decision-making, further expressing appreciation to UBEC for its continuous support and partnership with the state in strengthening basic education delivery. The Agidigbo Family Fun Fair continues to bring excitement to families with another fun-packed day. From swimming pool to table tennis, games and Father Christmas gifts, both children and parents were fully engaged. Speaking with Agidigbo FM News, children expressed their appreciation for the memorable day.
When I come to Agidigbo 8.7 FM, I play the exam, I came to Agidigbo for children carnival. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Also, parents engaged in dancing and cheering, creating a joyful and lively atmosphere for everyone. The event gave families a chance to relax, bond and enjoy time together outside their usual routines.
I came here with my two boys and they really enjoyed themselves. Even our money, it works more than it. We really enjoy ourselves. My advice is just that I think by next year they should just try more in our gifts. We really appreciate everything and we really enjoyed ourselves. The Indomie was yummy. Even the jollof rice, it was not good. We really enjoyed ourselves.
We came here for a fun, so we really enjoy it. We take a ticket, we go there, we take items for coming to this place. So we swim, we swimming pool. My baby too was very excited, so we enjoy ourselves.
It was all smile and excitement as parents enjoyed creating lasting memories with their children. The Oyo State Judiciary Christian Fellowship OJCF marked its 14th annual Christmas Carol and Service of Songs with a grand celebration at the High Court of Justice Complex, Ring Road, Ibadan today. The event, themed The Prince of Peace, brought together legal luminaries and members of the Oyo State judicial community to honor God's grace in their lives and acknowledge the impact of faith on their judiciary system. The former Chief Judge of Oyo State, Honorable Justice Badejoko Adeniji, expressed her joy for the success of the event. Some members of the judiciary community and special guests at the event said the annual Christmas is one of a kind. The occasion featured carol singing, prayers and message of gratitude, highlighting the fellowship's commitment to serving God and upholding Christian values in the judiciary. It is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Kulamza Studio, Agidigbo FM. United Kingdom, I am Olushola Damilola. A Scottish couple whose teenage son took his own life after being blackmailed on Instagram are suing the platform owner, Meta, in what's thought to be the first UK case of its kind. Muredowe from Dublin was 16 when he became a victim of sextortion in December 2023. His parents have now launched legal action against Meta in the US courts, seeking punitive damages, claiming that Instagram was not safe. Meta, which also owns Facebook, said it supports law enforcement to prosecute the criminals behind the case. The boy died in his home in December 2023 after he was targeted by scammers posing as a young girl. It is thought Murray had been tricked by criminals in West Africa. Rose Dowie said they are launching legal action to get justice for Murray and all other boys who have taken their own lives after being sextorted on Instagram. China has accused the United States of bullying Venezuela after President Donald Trump ordered a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. In a phone call yesterday, China Foreign Minister Wang Yi told his Venezuela counterpart that Beijing will support Caracas in defending its sovereignty. Mr. Wang, however, described and labeled Washington military presence in the area as unilateral bullying. And that ends the news from Kunle Hamzat Studio at Gidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Olushola Damilola.
We shall also be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Bowale Akinbode Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya. In a rare evening address from the White House, U.S. President Donald Trump boasted on Wednesday of his accomplishment and blamed his Democratic predecessor of soaring consumer prices as his party braces for a tough midterm election next year. The Republican president, who regularly protests that he does not get credit for his accomplishments, offered few new policy initiatives to address high costs. The speech instead was delivered with a pronounced sense of grievance, with Trump complaining about migrant invasions, violent crime, and transgender rights. He placed blame at the feet of former President Joe Biden, previous trade deals, immigrants, and what he described as a corrupt system. At the same time, Trump thwarted his administration's work this year on a range of issues, from reducing border crossings to bringing down prices of some goods, and he promised the nation will be stronger next year. European Union leaders will decide whether to use foreign Russian assets to lend billions of euros of cash to Ukraine to keep its war effort afloat at a summit on Thursday, seen as a critical test of the group's strength. The EU sees Russia's war as a threat to its own security and wants to keep Ukraine financed and fighting. The European Commission has proposed using foreign Russian central bank assets that are mostly held in Belgian clearinghouse to secure a huge loan to Kyiv. But Belgium is deeply concerned about legal and financial risk, and other states, including Italy, have also expressed worries. EU leaders arriving at the summit said it was imperative they find a solution. They were also keen to show European countries strength and resolve after US President Donald Trump last week called them weak. And that ends the news from Bowale Akinbode Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya.
The Oyo State Judiciary Christian Fellowship marked its 14th annual Christmas Carol and Service of Songs with a grand celebration at the High Court of Justice Complex, Ring Road, Ibadan today. The event, themed the Prince of Peace, brought together legal luminaries and members of the Oyo State Judiciary Committee to honor God's grace in their lives and acknowledge the impact of faith on the judiciary system. The former Chief Judge of Oyo State, Honorable Justice Badejoko Adenije, expressed her joy for the success of the event.
We're grateful to God that Oyo State Judiciary Christian Fellowship, we're grateful to God that He made it possible for us to witness another Christmas this year. And the program is just to give God thanks and to appreciate Him for His goodness to us. And the fact also to acknowledge and declare once again that Jesus is Lord.
It is an annual program we organize to celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus and Savior Jesus Christ. It is going to remember to tell people that Christ has come to come and save us, and to tell the world that He's coming back on the second advent for rapture. That is why, as we are dancing and rejoicing, don't forget that Christ is coming back.
It has been a glorious time in His presence. We all know it's a period of celebration, it's a period of good news, and we are happy to be here. It's the 14th edition of its kind in the history of the Oyo State Judiciary.
Some members of the judiciary community and special guests at the event said the annual Christmas is one of a kind.
How did you go?
I'm a Methodist.
In English first.
By birth and by marriage, I am a Methodist, and I am a knight of John Wesley. I love God because God loves me and He's been taking care of me since I've been widowed 35 years ago. When I came to the judiciary in 1991 as the chief registrar, only the Muslims have a small place here. And by the special grace of God, within the court premises in England, by the special grace of God, the Christians will build our church before December.
The occasion featured carol singing, prayers and messages of gratitude highlighted the fellowship's commitment to serving God and upholding Christian values in the judiciary. In remembrance of the December 18, 2024 Stampede, Agidigbo FM today remembered the lost souls, offering prayers and consolation at the station's premises. Parents of the victims were present as Agidigbo 88.7 FM observed a Black Thursday in honor of the departed. Dr. Oriyomi Hamzat later visited the scene of the tragic incident, where he laid flowers in solemn tribute to the young souls. Agidigbo FM News correspondent Rafiat Hamzat reports on the Remembrance Day. Oluwatosin Ologun brings the report.
It was a moment of sober reflection and consolation as the chairman of Agidigbo FM, Dr. Oriyomi Hamzat, led other members of the broadcasting house in solemn songs and prayers in remembrance of the beautiful souls lost on December 18, 2024 at Basharo Ibadan. While dressed in black outfits, members of Agidigbo FM observed prayer sessions in the Islamic and Christian way at the broadcasting house with the parents and family members of the victims of the stampede. Recall that a stampede occurred during a Christmas party and fun fair, which claimed the lives of some children on December 18, 2024 at Islamic High School, Basharo Ibadan. During the prayer sessions, parents appreciated the kindness and support shown by Dr. Oriyomi Hamzat after their loss.
Tí wọn náà bá fẹ́ kọ́ lọ́hùn ṣe tiẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ síwà dáadáa máa ṣòdodo tí má máa wò bábára ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ rẹ àwọn ọ̀lẹ́ ayé ọ̀tá ń bá wọn dábọ́lọ́ bá fẹ́ mú ọ ó kí ẹ̀yin pásítọ̀ wa wọ́n sì kí àràjì wa àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin àfa gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọlọ́run ẹni ọlọ́run níkàlẹ̀ mọ́ kí ọlọ́run bá kò sí ní tá a lè fi ran àwọn ọmọ náà lọ mọ́ ju àdúrà àti ká máa ṣe sàrà fún wọn ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ tó bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ ni tó sì wà láàyè kan nínú ara rẹ̀ kò sí bí ó ṣe èyí ó dá mi ojú ànábì wa Muhammad náà tó ọlọ́run nípa tó ń ṣe nǹkan fún ọ.
The family of the victims of the stampede also lauded the chairman of Agidigbo FM for creating a foundation in memory of their loved ones.
So today makes it a year. Alhamdulillah. God will accept them in heaven. God will be with Alhaji Oriyomi. He said every December 18, he will be praying for them and God will see him through. We will not say such again. God will be with us all and protect us.
After the prayer session, Dr. Oriyomi Hamzat led Agidigbo FM members in a solidarity walk from the broadcasting house to Islamic High School, Basharo Ibadan. In honor and remembrance of the victims of the stampede, the chairman of Agidigbo FM reflected on the painful moments and laid wreath to the lost souls. While speaking at the memorial, Dr. Oriyomi Hamzat explained the plans of the foundation created in memory of the lost souls of December 18, 2024.
Of the children that lost their life here, this same place, last year, December 18, 2024. We are here to honor them, to pray for them, and to tell them that they will forever be in our mind. May their gentle soul rest in peace.
The December 18, 2024 incident is indeed a sad one for the families of the victims and residents of Oyo State. However, Dr. Oriyomi Hamzat, while consoling the families of the victims, also prays that this kind of incident will not happen again in Oyo State and beyond. Oluwatosin Ologun, Agidigbo FM News.
Welcome back, and now to the exciting world of sport. The Super Eagles of Nigeria today round up for the final stage of their Africa Cup of Nations preparations as players and officials depart Cairo, Egypt, Morocco. Officials of the national team confirmed that the Super Eagles left Cairo at midday. Upon arrival in Morocco, Nigeria will be based in first for the group stage of the competition, where they are drawn in Group C alongside Tanzania, Tunisia and Uganda. All three of the Super Eagles group matches will be played at the complex sports at the location. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. Makinde inaugurates Omololu Olunloyo Park in Ibadan. Oyo Superb distributes motorcycles to boost monitoring of basic education in schools. China accuses US of bullying Venezuela as Trump orders blockade. Europe faces crunch decision on using frozen Russian assets for Ukraine. Super Eagles depart Cairo for Morocco. And before we go this evening, here is a quick tape. To see perfection in everything means we are equally happy in the favorable situations and the unfavorable situations. Agidigbo FM says, be grateful always. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Bowale Akinbode. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State government has said the over 1.5 million out-of-school children.
We give you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
The Southwest in Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Agidigbo 88.7 FM.